Aotearoa New Zealand has achieved extraordinary success in terms of women's representation in Parliament, with half of our MPs being women. So what makes a difference? There are many factors. However, the game changer in my view is a proportionate political system. One like ours, which is MMP, which means parties can choose to include diversity in their lineup of MPs. Plus, it's about quotas, mandatory, or in New Zealand's case, voluntary ones, parties choosing to use quotas. So as we celebrate International Women's Day, let's remember to think about putting quotas into our toolkit that we use to advance equality and equity for women.
On this International Women's Day, we've focused on women's equity and women's equality. And I think, well, it's fair to say in New Zealand's early history, women did have a lot of barriers to face when it came to education, when it came to voting, when it came to running for public office. Now in 2023, we are very proud of the fact that we have a 50-50 representation in our Parliament with 60 men and 60 women. We've also just celebrated 50 years of the Equal Pay Act, but I do think with a 9% pay gap between men and women, which means that women on average are effectively working for free from November each year, we've still got a lot of work to do, but we do have a long, proud track record of advancing the rights of women in this country, and long may that continue.
This International Women's Day, I'm thinking about what it takes to ensure women's voices are properly represented in our democracy. And took until 1893 before women finally won the right to vote in this country. But then there was a bit of a delay until 1919 before we were actually allowed to stand for Parliament. And then another delay until 1933 before we got our first woman in this House of Parliament. And then another delay until just last year before women reached 50% of voices in our Parliament. And we're having discussions in our Standing Orders Committee about how do we ensure that the hours and the way Parliament works enables people to care for their families as well as represent their communities, something essential to ensuring women's and I think compassionate voices in our Parliament. So we still have work to do, as well as the really big issue, I think, this election about ensuring respectful debate and countering misogyny that we're seeing the increase of in the online environment.